Ji for joining the call and welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept humble obeisance. All glories to Sri Guru and Gaurang and all glories to Sri Prabhupada and all the single devotees. Shashidhar joining from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shashidhar Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Welcome to the call and thank you for joining, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Welcome to the call and thank you, Mataji, for joining every day. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Joshua Prabhupada, this is Preeti Vilasini Devadasi from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your services and welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. We have a couple more minutes. Anybody would like to introduce yourselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranams, all glories to Sri Prabhupada and the assembled devotees. This is Devati from Atlanta, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Rati Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day and your chanting too. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev. This is Uma Pratap from India.
Hare Krishna, Uma. Hare Krishna, Uma Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Welcome to the call, Mataji, and thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Chanmaya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. This is Shivani from Ashland, Virginia. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Welcome to the call, Mataji, and thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna. Okay, so Mataji, do you want to start the recording? Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. It's time for us to move on to the next part of our session, which is class on Chaitanya Bhagavat. Before we start the class, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today. His quote is, "What is this comfort of the skyscraper building? I think it is a mechanical prison." This was said by His Divine Grace at Johannesburg, October 16th, 1975. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are very fortunate to have His Grace Radhika Vallabh Prabhuji today with us to talk on Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya khanda. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your time and coming here and talking about the Supreme Lord to us and His glories. So please take over the call, Prabhuji. Prabhuji will be talking on Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya khanda, 4th chapter from texts 30 to 36. So please take over the call, Prabhuji. Eagerly waiting to hear from you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for inviting me for this session on Chaitanya. I will begin this in the Mangalacharya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamtirayet nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamashloke bhakti naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopatkumaraya Govindaya Namo Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshnave Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Devi Nirvishesha Shunyavati Panchadevitami Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravatta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. So we'll read from the Chaitanya Bhagavata, Madhya khanda, chapter 4, verse number 30 to 36. Screen. Nityananda Prabhavera Gyata Gadadara Nityananda Gyata Gadadere Antara. Gadadara knows the glories of Nityananda, and Nityananda knows the mind of Gadadara. Gadadara is Gaurasundar's most confidential energy, and therefore he knows the wonderful glories of Gaura's servant Nityananda. Nityananda also more or less knows the mind of Gadadara. So we read verse 30 to 45 on Thursday. I was told about verse 30 to 36. That's what I got the message. Can
Yes.
somebody clarify?
Yes, Prabhu. That's right.
Is it correct? Verse 30 to 36 we are supposed to do today?
Yes, Prabhuji. 30 to 36. Correct, Prabhu.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's a chat message, somebody has sent a message. Okay. Next verse 31. Nityananda Dekiya Sakala Bhakta Gana Nityananda Maya Haila Sabaka Ramana. While watching Nityananda, the minds of all the devotees became filled with eternal bliss. Nityananda Gaura Chandra Dohe Doha Deki Kehu Kichu Nahi Bale Jare Matra Anki. As Nityananda and Gaurachandra gazed at each other, they did not speak a word as tears flowed from their eyes. Dohe Doha Deki Bada Harisha Hailondo Hara Nayana Jale Prithivi Basila. They were both filled with happiness on seeing each other. The earth became flooded with their tears. Vishwambara Bole Shubha Divasa Amara Dekila Bhakti Yoga Chari Veda Sara. Vishwambara said, "Today is an auspicious day for me, for I have seen devotional service. which is the essence of the four Vedas. Devotional service alone is the purport and essence of the four Vedas. The Vedic literatures have ascertained devotional service as the only essence. When the living entity's full knowledge is awakened, then devotional service, which is its eternal propensity, is aroused. A heart that is filled with the service attitude is qualified to achieve knowledge of the Supreme Lord. And after achieving knowledge, it becomes fixed in the service of the Lord. Ei kampa, ei ashru, ei garjana hunkara, yeha ki Ishvara shakti, vaihaya ara, are such shivering, such tears, such loud roaring possible for anyone other than one who is empowered by the Lord? Akritye bhakti yoga nayane dekile, kahare o Krishna na chade na kona kale. Krishna will never forsake one who even once directly sees such a devotional service. Krishna can never leave the fortunate servant who sees such mental and physical transformations of love in the course of Nityananda's service. Hare Krishna. So we are reading this very beautiful section in Chaitanya Bhagavata, the meeting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda at the house of Nandhan Acharya. That is how the whole narration is beginning. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Nityananda Prabhu, in order to reveal the glories, the position of Nityananda Prabhu to the assembled devotees, he told the devotees to chant a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And they chanted the verse from the 10th canto, Varha Pidam Natavara Bhaku Karnayu Karnika. The 10th canto, the chapter on the Venu Gita, in chapter 21 something. Sukadeva Goswami describes how Krishna is dressed as the best of the dancers, and he is going to enter the forest of Vrindavan. So when this particular verse was recited by the devotees, Nityananda Prabhu exhibited such ecstatic symptoms, and all the devotees got astonished by seeing those symptoms. And Nityananda Prabhu finally he came into the arms of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was holding Nityananda Prabhu in his arms. Gadadhar Pandit, by seeing the scene, he got astonished that there is a reversal of the roles. Because Nityananda Prabhu in his amsha as Ananta Sesha, he is holding, he is actually acting as a bed for Lord Narayan. But here, the Lord Narayan's original Rupa, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Swayam Bhagavan, but he is holding Nityananda Prabhu, who is the Ananta Sesha. By seeing that, Gadadhar Pandit became astonished that there is a reversal of the rules. And they felt that this exchange of love which is exhibited between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, it can be compared only with the exchange of affection between Ram and Lakshman. And then, so Nityananda Prabhu is, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that the essence of the Vedas is devotional service. Anybody who sees such ecstatic symptoms of love exhibited by Nityananda Prabhu, Krishna will never forsake such a person. And that is the section we are reading. So today I will speak briefly about different aspects of Bhakti Rasa. Why I chose this topic was that because Nityananda Prabhu, after hearing the Bhagavatam shloka, he exhibited such ecstatic symptoms. And all these ecstatic symptoms are described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sometimes Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu describes all these things. And all these ecstatic symptoms are exhibited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda and the different devotees. That's what we read in the Chaitanya. That's what we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita and in Chaitanya Bhagavata. So in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Goswami, the second part, he begins a description of the Bhakti Rasa. So this Bhakti Rasa, we will start with this description. Once again. So the Rupa Goswami describes that the Bhakti Rasa has got 5 ingredients. The main aspect of Bhakti Rasa is the sthayi bhava, and the sthayi bhava is also called as Rati. This is the main ingredient of Bhakti Rasa. And this Rati, in whom does the Rati appear? Bhakti nirduta doshanam prasannojvala chetasam. So the Rati, which is the very form of Ananda. Ratir Ananda Rupaiva. Rati is the very form of Ananda, appears in those devotees whose hearts have been purified. Bhakti nirduta doshanam, have been purified of all the faults by the practice of bhakti. Prasanna ujvala chetasam, whose hearts have become joyful. And ujvala, whose hearts have become bright. That means hladini shakti and samvit shakti have descended into the hearts of such people. They have become joyful. That means there is a touch of hladini shakti, and whose hearts have become bright with a touch of samvit shakti. And Sri Bhagavata Raktanam, who have developed a great taste, great relish for the Srimad Bhagavatam. Radhika Sanga Ranginam, and who have developed a great taste for the association of others who have taste for Krishna. Rasika Asanga Rangina. So these are the qualities of the devotees in whose hearts this Rati will appear. First quality is Bhakti Nirduta Doshanam. Second quality is Prasanna Ujvala Chetasam. Third quality is Sri Bhagavata Raktanam. They have developed a great relish for Srimad Bhagavatam. Fourth quality is who have developed a great relish for the association of devotees who have a taste for Krishna. And the fifth quality is Jivani Bhuta Govinda Pada Bhakti Sukha Shriyam, whose life and soul becomes the profound happiness of devotion at the lotus feet of Govinda. And this is the fifth quality. And the sixth quality is that Prema Antaranga Bhutam Krityani Yeva Anutishtatam, and who have become absorbed in actions such as Kirtan, imbued with the Lord's mercy. Prema Antaranga Bhutani Krityani Yeva Anutishtatam. So those who have developed these 6 qualities, in their hearts, the Rati appears. which is the very form of Anand. Bhaktanam hridi rajanti sanskara yugalojvala. Bhaktanam hridi rajanti sanskara yugalojvala. So this Rati is strengthened by past samskaras and by present life impressions of bhakti. This is strengthened by past life impressions of bhakti and also by the present life impressions of bhakti. Samskara yugala ujvala. Samskara yugala, that means present and past life impressions. Present samskaras of bhakti. Hridi rajanti. This bhakti this Rati gets strengthened by the past and present life impressions of bhakti, and then attains a state of relish. This Rati, so far Rupa Goswami described in whose heart the Rati appears. He mentioned these qualities. And this Rati becomes strengthened by the past and present life impressions of bhakti. And then this Rati attains a state of relish when the Rati is combined with Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvika Bhava and Vyabhichari Bhava. Krishnadibir Vibhavadyair Anubhavadvani Praudananda Chamatkara Kashtam Apadyate Param. This Rati attains a state of relish by realizing Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvika Bhava and Vyabhichari Bhava in relation to Krishna, and fully attains the highest astonishing peak of profound bliss. And that is called as the Bhakti Rasa. Praudananda Chamatkara Kashtam Apadyate Param. And that highest astonishing peak of profound bliss, that is called as the Bhakti Rasa. So we see the Bhakti Rasa, the primary ingredient is that the Rati, which is also called as sthayi bhava. And the sthayi bhava in whom it appears, so 5 characteristics are mentioned. And the sthayi bhava, when it is combined with the Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvika Bhava and Vyabhichari Bhava, then it reaches the level what is called as Bhakti Rasa. At that time, it becomes very tasteful. The Bhakti Rasa becomes very tasteful. So what is the definition of Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvika Bhava and Vyabhichari Bhava? Rupa Goswami says, Atra Vibhavadi Samanya Lakshanam. The Samanya of Bhakti Rasa is the first wave, the very beginning, 7, 8, 12, 13 verses. Ye Krishna Bhakta Murali Nadadya Hetavo Ratehe. So Vibhava means the causes of Rati, such as Krishna, his devotee, and the sound of flute, they are called the Vibhava. That which stimulates one's affection for Krishna, that is called as the Vibhava. They can be Krishna, devotees of Krishna, or the things related to Krishna. And then Karya Bhuta Smitadayascha Tata Ashtau Sabdatadayaha. Karya Bhuta. When the affection is stimulated by the Vibhava, and that heightened affection is exhibited by Anubhava. Anubhava, that which follows. When the affection is stimulated and the affection is exhibited by the Anubhava. But the Anubhavas are something like a devotee may smile, or he may shout, he may shed tears. And when the affection is stimulated, the devotee also exhibits what is called as Ashta Sattvika Vikara. And they are the Sattvika Bhavas, such as being stunned, stabda. And then Nirvedadya Sahayascha Te Geya Rasa Bhavane Vibhava Anubhavascha Sattvika Vyabhicharinah. And there are what is called as a Vyabhichari Bhava. And these Vyabhichari Bhavas assist in the relishing of Bhakti Rasa. And there are many Vyabhichari Bhavas, Nirveda and other Vyabhichari Bhavas. So the assistants such as Nirveda are called Vyabhichari Bhavas. This way Rupa Goswami gives a general definition of Vibhava, Anubhava, Sattvika Bhava, Vyabhichari Bhava. We'll see a more specific, little more specific definition. Say, for example, so in the case of Vibhava, Vibhava is that which stimulates one's affection for Krishna. So why I am discussing this topic is that when Nityananda Prabhu met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because all the other devotees, they could not, their first time seeing Nityananda Prabhu. They were not able to understand who this personality is. But when the Gadadhar Pandit chanted that verse, Varga Pidam Natavara Karnayo Karnikaram, when he chanted that verse acted like the Vibhava. Vibhava means that which stimulates one's affection for Krishna. And when the Nityananda Prabhu's heart, the sthayi bhava is there, when that affection was stimulated by the Bhagavatam verse, then the Nityananda Prabhu exhibited Anubhava, Sattvika Bhava, he exhibited different symptoms of ecstasy, and by seeing that, the devotees became astonished. So what is Vibhava? Tatra Geya Vibhavastu Rati Aswadana Hetavaha. So Vibhava should be known as the causes of relishing Rati. Rati Aswadana Hetavaha. They stimulate one's affection for Krishna. And Vibhavas are, like for example, it can be even a material example. Suppose a person has an attraction for the songs of a certain music director. And then he is sitting in a particular, say, some assembly. And suddenly somebody's mobile rings. And the mobile ringtone is a particular song composed by that particular music director whom he loves so much. So immediately that mobile ringtone that churns his heart, and then he immediately starts singing that song actually. So that mobile ringtone acted like a vibhava, and in his heart already certain attraction for the songs composed by the music director were there. And then when that affection is stimulated, then the resultant action he exhibited by singing that song loudly, that is the anubhava. So the same thing we see in the spiritual platform here. Here the vibhava is the things related to Krishna. Vibhavas are classified into two categories: alambana and uddipana. Alambana refers to the support. Uddipana refers to the stimuli. So alambana is of two types: Vishaya alambana and Ashraya alambana. The object of love is the Vishaya Alambana. Ashraya Alambana is the shelter of love. From Krishna's point of view, the devotees are the Vishaya Alambana and Krishna is the Ashraya Alambana. From the point of view of the devotees, Krishna is the Vishaya Alambana, the object of love, and the devotees are the Ashraya Alambana, the shelter of love. So Alambana is of two types, Vishaya Alambana and Ashraya Alambana. And Uddipana is the stimuli, anything related to Krishna and the devotees are the Uddipana. So all these Alambana and Uddipana, Vishaya Alambana, Ashraya Alambana and Uddipana, they come under the category of Vibhava, and this Vibhava is the cause of relishing Rati. Vibhava is that which stimulates the Rati. A mother has an affection for the child, and then the mother sees the child is maybe studying in some other city, and the mother sees the clothes worn by the child, the almirah, and those clothes actually stimulate the mother's affection for the child, and mother starts shedding tears. And the clothes are like the vibhava here, and the affection is heightened. The resultant action exhibited by the mother, shedding tears, that is like the anubhava. So this is the vibhava. So here in the case of Nityananda Prabhu, in this particular incident, that Barha Pidam Bhagavatam verse, that is the vibhava. And Nityananda Prabhu exhibiting different symptoms. He exhibited the all anubhava and sattvika bhava. So what the exact definition of anubhava is described by Rupa Goswami as anubhavastu chittastha bhavanam avabodakaha te bahir vikriya praya prokta udbhasvarakyaya. Anubhavas refer to those things which express the bhava situated within the heart. They are predominantly external transformations and are thus called udbhasvara, shining in the body. So when the Rati, sthayi bhava is stimulated by the vibhava, then the Rati reaches a heightened state. And that heightened state, a devotee expresses himself. That heightened affection is expressed externally by certain actions. They are called as the anubhavas. So these anubhavas are actions such as dancing, rolling on the ground, singing, shouting, stretching the body, bellowing, yawning, breathing heavily, and having hiccups. All these are anubhavas actually. Drooling, laughing loudly. Somebody has a somebody likes, say, suppose potato vada, batata vada. He has that affection. And suddenly in the kitchen they are making potato vada, and the smell of potato vada comes from the kitchen. And that smell actually stimulates his affection for potato vada, and immediately he rushes to the kitchen. The act of rushing to the kitchen is like an anubhav. So Rupa Goswami goes into very great detail. He says anubhavas are of two types, Shita and Kshepana. Shita means those anubhavas which are without external bodily movement. For example, it can be singing, yawning, breathing heavily, drooling and smiling. These things don't involve external bodily movement. But Kshepana means that which involves distinct bodily movements, like stretching the body, rolling on the ground, dancing, laughing loudly, whirling around and having hiccups. These involve external bodily movement. They are the anubhavas. And then now let us understand what is sthayi bhava, sattvika bhava. Sattvika bhava is defined by Rupa Goswami as Krishna sambandhibhi sakshat kinchidva vyavadanatah bhavais chittam iha krantam sattvam ityuchyate budaihi. On the topic of rasa, when the heart becomes overwhelmed by ratis or bhavas in relation to Krishna, either directly or indirectly, the learned call this as sattva. So when the heart becomes bhavais chittam iha krantam, the heart should become overwhelmed by rati. And that state of the heart is called as sattva. And the state of the heart which is overwhelmed by the by rati, that is called as a sattva. And that from that state of the heart called as sattva, certain transformations arise, and they are called as the sattvika bhava. Sattvad asmat samutpanna ye bhavas tetuta sattvika. The transformations which arise solely from the sattva, sattva is the heart becoming overwhelmed by ratis in relation to Krishna. And those transformations are called as sattvika bhava. We say ashta sattvika vikara. So Nityananda Prabhu exhibited all these ashta sattvika vikara. Just like today morning he was giving example that there is a Deepavali firecracker. Suppose there is a rocket, is a Deepavali fire rocket. The rocket is kept in the ground. The rocket is filled with the different gunpowder and other things put in a particular structure in that. When the rocket comes in contact with the spark of fire, small flame of fire, that small flame of fire is like the vibhava, and what is stored within that rocket, that is like the sthayi bhava, the rati. And the sthayi bhava, when it comes in contact with the small flame of fire, the resultant firework display, they are the anubhava and the sattvika bhava. The difference between the anubhava and the sattvika bhava is that in the anubhava, there is a conscious, premeditated exhibition of certain symptoms. That is the anubhava. But in sattvika bhava, the heart is so overwhelmed with the affection for Krishna, there is an unconscious, unpremeditated display of the emotions. They are called as the sattvika. They are called as the sattvika bhava. So this is the sattvika bhava. And I'm just giving the basic definition of this. And there are various types of sattvika bhava, various types of anubhava, and example for each type of anubhava, sattvika bhava, they are explained by Rupa Goswami. And then now there is vyabhichari bhava. What is the definition of vyabhichari bhava? Atochyante trayas trimshad bhavaye vyabhicharinah visheshena abhimukyena charanti sthayinam prati. So there are 33 vyabhichari bhavas are there. So, vyabhichari bhava. How the word is formed? V upasarga, and then there is another upasarga, abhi. Vyabhichari bhava. So, chari comes from the word charanti, chardhat. Vyabhichari bhava. So, they are called as vyabhichari bhava because they move against the sthayi bhava. Abhi charanti means moving. Abhi charanti means they move against the sthayi bhava. But we abhi charanti while assisting the sthayi bhava in a distinct way. Visheshena abhimukyena charanti. Visheshena abhimukyena charanti. That is, in a short form, it is called as vyabhichari bhava. So vyabhichari bhavas, they move against the sthayi bhava, but they at the same time assist the sthayi bhava in a distinct way. It is something like, for example, when we in certain eatables, certain ingredients are put, and those ingredients are against the taste of the ingredient. For example, in malpua is a sweet, but in that black pepper is put. And that black pepper's taste is against the taste of the malpua, but although it is actually the opposite direction of the malpua, that means that it is the opposite to the sweetness, but it assists the taste of the malpua in a very distinct way by that black pepper. Or sometimes with certain types of sambar, I don't know what we call in other North India or something. So in Tamil Nadu, there is a vetta kodambu, it's a particular sambar. The sambar is we put all this chili and salty item actually. But in that also, they also put some quantity of good also. So the taste of good is opposite to the taste of the sambar, but it assists the taste of the sambar in a distinct way. So that is the role of the vyabhichari bhava. Like jaljeera juice. And the jaljeera juice, jaljeera masala we put in the juice. It's supposed to be a sweet juice, but the jaljeera masala also has some hot element in that. But that assists that enhances the sweetness of that lemon juice. So vag anga sattva sochya gyeyaste vyabhicharinah sancharanti bhavasya gatim sancharinopi. The vyabhichari bhavas reveal themselves by words, by eyebrows, and other bodily parts, and by external actions, which arise from overwhelming emotions. And since the vyabhichari bhavas set in motion the course of the sthayi bhava, they are also called as sanchari bhava. Another name for vyabhichari bhava is sanchari bhava because they set in motion the course of the sthayi bhava. For vyabhichari bhavas are momentary emotions. Just like in a malpua, it's not that we put a huge quantity of black pepper. Very small quantity. In a sweet rice, we put small quantity of camphor. Similarly, vyabhichari bhavas are momentary emotions. But still, they enhance the taste of the bhakti rasa in a very distinct way. See, another example, suppose when the mother has the sthayi bhava for the child, the affection for the child. and mother sees that the child is about to touch the fire. Mother is seeing from a distance. And that scene immediately creates a momentary anxiety in the heart of the mother, and immediately she rushes to that place and then pulls the child from that place. So that action, that anxiety and that hastiness and the pulling the child, that all were present only momentarily. So that they are called as that momentary anxiety. That's like the Vyabhichari bhava. Mother Yashoda sees that Krishna is tied in the coils of Kaliya, and then she exhibits that Vyabhichari bhava, and then she becomes unconscious like that. So these are the Vyabhichari bhava, and the sthayi bhava. Sthayi bhava, we discussed that. Sthayi bhava is the one's constant affection for Krishna. That is also called as Rati. So aviruddhan viruddhamscha bhavan yo vashatam nayan suradeva virajeta sasthayi bhava uchyate. The bhava which controlling other favorable bhavas such as hasya and a contradictory bhava such as krodha presides in the manner of an efficient ruler is called the sthayi bhava. The sthayi bhava is like the ruler, which is the predominant bhava, the one's mood of affection towards Krishna. And when this sthayi bhava directed towards Krishna, when it is combined with this vibhava, anubhava, sattvic bhava, vyabhichari bhava, then it reaches the level of bhakti rasa. So here Nityananda Prabhu's because the affection is stored, is there in the heart of Nityananda Prabhu, but others were not able to see who this person Nityananda Prabhu is. But when they heard that Bhagavatam verse, then the resultant display of the ecstatic symptoms revealed to the world who Nityananda Prabhu is, such an exalted personality. So here I will discuss briefly about other part. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling that devotional service is the essence of the Vedas. And whoever has seen such ecstatic symptoms of Nityananda Prabhu, Krishna will never forsake such a person. So devotional service being the essence of the Vedas, let us see some shlokas. The shloka from Madhya Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shrutirmata prishta dishati bhavat aradhana vidim yata matur smritirapi tata bhakti bagini puranadya yeva sahaja nivahaste tadanuga atas satyam jnatam murahara bhavan yeva sharanam. When the mother Vedas is questioned as to whom to worship, she says that you are the only Lord and worshipable. Shrutir mata prishta dishati bhavat aradhana vidim. Similarly, the Shruti Shastras, the Smriti Shastras, they give the same instructions. Yata maturvani smritirapi tata bhakti bagini. Just like sisters repeat the instruction given by the mother, similarly the Smriti Shastras, who are compared to the sisters, they repeat the instructions given by the mother, that is the Shruti Shastras. Puranadya yeva sahaja nivahas. The Puranas, they are the sahajas, they are like the brothers. And they also follow in the footsteps of the mother. Tad anuga. They also follow in the footsteps of the mother. They also give the same instruction. Oh Mura Hara, the enemy of the demon Mura, the conclusion is that Bhavan Yeva Sharanam, you are the only shelter. Ataha satyam jnatam. Now I have understood this in truth. That is why Skanda Puran says that that was Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tata Adau Antaucha Madhyecha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. Vedas, Ramayana, Bharata, and all the Puranas, they glorify in the beginning, middle, and end only Lord Hari. Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, second chapter. Bhagavan Brahma Katsyena Triranvikshya Manishaya Tadadyavasyat Kutasto Ratiratman Yato Bhavet. The unchanging Lord reviewed 3 times the Vedas completely with his intelligence and determined that process which produces prema in the self. Brahma studied the Vedas 3 times. After that, he came to the conclusion to develop attraction for the Lord is the ultimate conclusion of the Vedas. Like we may be used to hearing this, but actually it is very rare to come to such a conclusion. Because of reading Prabhupada's books, hearing, we may sometimes take the clarity for granted, but it is very rare actually. Because there are so many different aspects of the Vedic Shastra. There are people who spent years and years just studying one aspect of the Vedic Shastra. Sometimes people spend years just studying the Nyaya. Some people spend years just going into the Vyakarana. So recently I was attending one Vyakarana class. Vyakarana itself, it takes many years to study actually. In one of the Vyakarana, this one, there's one section in Panini Vyakarana called as Taddita Pratyaya. Pratyaya means a suffix. So by adding these types of suffixes, there are how the different words are formed. So there is it's a huge section. In one section, one pratyaya was being taught. And there are 2 pratyayas were told to describe the Nirbrutam, to describe the particular well which was made by somebody in the eastern direction of a particular river. To describe a particular well which is in the eastern direction of a particular river, a particular pratyaya is told. And to describe the well which is in the western direction of that particular well, another pratyaya is told. And then the ultimate word which is formed is, both the words are same only. To describe the well in the eastern direction and the western direction, I am not remembering the exact word now, but ultimate word which comes is same word only. But if the same word is there, then why a different pratyaya is told to describe the well in the western direction, and then another pratyaya is told to describe the well in the eastern direction? So the reason is that although the pronunciation seems to be same, but there is a finer swara difference. In Sanskrit, there are 3 swaras: Udata, Anudata, and Swarita. Nowadays, it is very few people know how to actually pronounce with these 3 swaras: Udata, Anudata, Swarita. In the story of Vritrasur, Twashta made a slight mistake in the pronunciation in these swaras. So therefore, instead of getting a son who will kill Indra, he got a son who will be killed by Indra. So Panini Rishi, who wrote the Vyakarana, he actually saw that the people at that time, in order to describe the well on the other side of the river, they were chanting that well in a particular swara. And for the eastern side, they chanted in a one swara. Western side, they chanted in an opposite swara. He observed that. Because he finally observed that therefore, in order to accommodate both the pronunciation, he gave two different pratyas. So like that, there are hundreds of, why I'm giving this example is that there are so many things in the, like that, Vyakarana, Nyaya Shastra, Mimamsa Shastra, that people can get caught up in learning those things. And in the course of getting caught up in that, sometimes one may, that also gives certain intellectual kick. And one becomes absorbed in that intellectual kick only. And then ultimately one forgets what is the purpose of reading the Vyakarana, purpose of reading the Nyaya. So therefore, these verses are actually revealing what is the purpose. Another verse from the Padma Puran, Vyamohaya characharasya jagatas te puranaagamas tam eva hi devatam paramikam jalpantu kalpavadi siddhante punareka eva bhagavan vishnu samastagama vyapareshu vivechana vyatikaran niteshu nischiyate. So let the Puranas and other scriptures glorify here and there for a kalpa the greatness of the respective devatas in order to produce vyamohaya, illusion in the people of this world. But after taking account of all the varieties of interpretation, their conclusion of the Puranas is that Vishnu alone is the Supreme Lord. Siddhante punar eka eva bhagavan Vishnu samastagama vyapareshu vivechana vyatikaram niteshu nischiyate. This verse from Padma Purana is quoted by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Again, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami describes one of the qualities of Krishna called as Supanditya. Supanditya means being knowledgeable. And this has two aspects. Being knowledgeable of all the branches of knowledge, and the second is being knowledgeable of proper conduct. So one is being knowledgeable of different subjects, and another is knowledge of proper conduct. Both these are actually aspects of knowledge. And for the first, how Krishna displayed this knowledge, being knowing of all branches of knowledge, Rupa Goswami says that Sustu Purvam Paricharya Gauravat Pita Mahad Anubuddhai Pravartita Krishnarnavam Kashya Guru Kshamabritas Tameva Vidya Sarita Prapedire. Previously, the clouds in the form of Brahma and others, by expertly serving with reverence the ocean in the form of Krishna, produced rivers of knowledge. The clouds actually draw the water from the ocean, and the clouds actually fill the river with the water. And then the rivers finally enter the ocean only. So Krishna is compared to the ocean, and Brahma and others, they got knowledge from Krishna, and then Brahma and others, they disseminated that knowledge through the parampara. And through that parampara and that rivers of knowledge, and through that parampara, Krishna again got the knowledge from Sandipani Muni. When the clouds actually pour the water, and the clouds pour the water they fill the river. And the rivers, they start from where? The rivers start from the from the mountain. So from the mountain of Sandipani Muni, the rivers of knowledge are flowing from the mountain of Sandipani Muni back into the ocean of Krishna. Sandipani Muni is compared to the mountain, and Sandipani Muni was giving the knowledge. That knowledge is compared to the river, and the river where it again enters into the ocean, and that ocean is Krishna. So this verse shows that how Krishna is the source of all knowledge, or Krishna is the purpose of all knowledge. Another example is told, Amnaya pratitanyaya smritimati badam sadango jwala nyaye yanugata purana suhruda mimamsaya mandita Svam labda vasara chirad gurukule prekshya swasangartinam vidyanamavadus chaturdasha guna Govinda shushrusate. O Govinda, the bride of knowledge with the 14 branches. So there is something called as a Chaturdasha Vidya. This is mentioned by Prabhupada in the 10th chapter purport, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. The Chaturdasha Vidya. 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas and 4 Upangas. The bride of knowledge with the 14 branches, whose lineage is distributed by the 4 Vedas and which includes the Smritis, which is made brilliant by the 6 Vedangas, is followed by the Sad Darshanas, is assisted by the Puranas, and decorated with the Karma and the Jnana Kandas. And this bride, known as knowledge, seeing you eager for gaining her association at the house of your Guru, Sandipani Muni, and this bride of knowledge desires to serve you, finding this opportunity after a long time. So the bride of knowledge was waiting for the opportunity to serve Krishna. And Krishna, when the bride of knowledge saw that Krishna is eager to get knowledge from Sandipani Muni, then the bride of knowledge immediately took that opportunity to serve Krishna, having gotten this opportunity after a long time. So the bride of knowledge was waiting for the opportunity to serve Krishna, who is the source of knowledge. Another I was hearing on class, the Bhagavata, the 2nd chapter, the verse Prahasan Iva Bharata, Tamuvacha Rishikesham, Prahasan Iva Bharata. So after, when Arjuna submitted to Krishna, Krishna smiled at Arjuna. There are various reasons given for why Krishna smiled at Arjuna. One of the reasons why Krishna smiled at Arjuna was that Krishna was thinking that I have been waiting for this opportunity for getting the role of an Acharya for a long time. And in none of my previous incarnations, nobody gave me this time. Nobody gave me the opportunity to become an Acharya, to become a teacher. In the previous incarnation, I didn't get an opportunity. Now, in this incarnation, I was waiting. Somebody will give me an opportunity to become an Acharya, but nobody gave me an opportunity. Now, after a long time, finally, Arjuna has given me the opportunity. Karpanya dosho pakata swabhava prachamitvam dharma sammuda cheta shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Now I become a disciple, please instruct me. So Krishna, therefore, he became happy that, oh, at last I have got an opportunity to become an Acharya, and therefore he smiled at Arjuna. So the Krishna, this verse also from the Bhakti Sanga Japa Group shows that how the purpose of all knowledge is to actually serve Krishna. That is the essence of the Vedas. And like that, there are many other shlokas. The third canto, when Vidura met Uddhava, Vidura asked a series of questions to Uddhava. One of the questions Vidura asked Uddhava is, Kachit Shivam Devaka Bhoja Putriya Vishnu Prajaya Iva Deva Matu Yavai Svagarbena Dadara Devam Trayi Yata Yajna Vitanamartam. So Vidura says that as the Vedas are the reservoir of sacrificial purposes, so the daughter of King Devaka conceived the Supreme Personality of Godhead in her womb, as did the mother of the demigods. So Prabhupada says that the Vedas are full of transcendental knowledge and spiritual values, and thus Devaki, the mother of Krishna, conceived the Lord in her womb as a personified meaning of the Vedas. There is no difference between the Vedas and the Lord. The Vedas aim at the understanding of the Lord, and the Lord is the Vedas personified. The Devaki is compared to the meaningful Vedas, and Krishna is compared to the purpose of the Vedas. Devaki is compared to the Vedas, and the Krishna was born from the Devaki, and that Krishna is the purpose of the Vedas. The purpose of the Vedas are the meaning of the Vedas, and that is Krishna. Lastly, I will complete with this. The fourth canto, sixth chapter, seventh chapter, I think. When in the Daksha Prajapati sacrificial arena, when the Lord Vishnu appeared, there are different people who offered prayers to Vishnu. So some of the Brahmanas, they offered a prayer, Tvam Puragam Rasaya Mahasukaro Damshraya Padminim Varanendro Yata Stuyamano Nadal Leelaya Yogibir Yujya Harta Trayigatra Yagyakratuhu. So in this particular verse, they address Krishna by the word Trayigatra, the personified Vedic knowledge. Personified Vedic knowledge, in the past millennium, you appeared as a great boar incarnation, as Varahadev. And you only picked up the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean, just like an elephant picks up the lotus flower from a snake, from the lake. So when you vibrated the transcendental sound in that Varaha form, the sound was accepted as a sacrificial hymn, and the great sages like Sanaka meditated upon that sound and offered praise for your glorification. So in this connection, Prabhupada says that Krishna is a Trayigatra. That means those people who engage in the worship of the deity form of Krishna, they are supposed to be studying the four Vedas 24 hours a day. And they are supposed to be in touch with the deepest purport of the Vedas. In that way, we see there are various shlokas. Another shloka is there. Rik Vedota Yajurveda Samaveto Pyatarvanaha Aditastena Yenoktam Haririt Yaksharadvayam. Vishnu Dharma Puran states that a person who chants the two syllables Hari has already completed the study of the four Vedas. Aho bata shvapajato gari and ejikvagre vartate namatubhyam. The person whose tongue, the syllable chanting of the holy name is present, such a person has completed all the austerities, sacrifices, bathed in the holy places in the study of the Vedas. In that way, there are various verses talk about how the purpose of the Vedas is devotional service to Krishna. Vedaicha sarve ahameva vedyo Vedanta krit veda videva chahu. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the very, very nice class. Thank you for actually giving us the definition with examples for sthayi bhava, anubhava, satvika bhava, vyabhachari bhava, and all of that. And also for actually decoding the meaning of vyabhachari bhava, what it means, and satvika bhava. You're right, satvika bhava. I think you gave the actual root word and how these words are framed. So that was very helpful. And the respective examples for each one of these was easy to understand, Prabhu. So thank you so much. It was a very interesting class and we learned a lot today. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So Prabhu, just to follow up, basically this Ashta Satvika Vihara that a person has, it results towards the end of having all these different feelings that the person is having, that it's a physical manifestation that happens at the end. Is that how we should understand?
Yes, Ashta Satvika Vikara, the physical manifestation of the heightened affection.
Okay.
Physical manifestation of heightened affection is the Ashta Satvika Vikara and Anubhava. But the fine difference between Anubhava and Satvika Bhava is that in Anubhava there is a conscious premeditated action. In Satvika Bhava, the heart is so overwhelmed with affection for Krishna. There is a unconscious and premeditated. Like that.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Very nice. It was a very different angle to analyze these verses and it was very helpful for us, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. A very, very beautiful class. It's a highly technical class, but you simplified it so much. And what was the first part of that, Rati, Prabhu? You gave 6 components. The first one I did not get, Prabhu. What was it? Something about bhakti, you said? I don't remember. The second one was...
Acha, in the 6 qualities, the 6 qualifications for a person, for the Rati to manifest, that you are saying?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
The first is that the heart which is purified of all the anarthas by the process of bhakti.
Heart purified by?
The heart which is purified of all the faults. The heart which is purified of all the anarthas by the process of bhakti. Bhakti nirduta doshanam, that is the phrase. Bhakti nirduta doshanam. The hearts of Rati appears in the hearts of devotees who have been purified of all the faults by bhakti.
Very nice, Prabhu. So my Guru Maharaj, actually he blesses everybody is Krishna Matirastu, and occasionally he even gives the blessing Krishna Ratirastu. So we just listen. Only today I understood how much of mercy he is pouring. All these 6 components he's giving us, and he's telling slowly by purification, someday I will reach there, someday, some lifetime. Thank you so much, Prabhu. A very beautiful class, and I'm a hardcore Tamilian, so when you gave that beautiful example of Vetakoram, I don't think I'll ever forget your Bachari Bhava example now, Prabhu. Thank you for all these simple examples. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Devotees, are there any more realizations or questions to go ahead? Yes, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. You have given very nice example to understand big philosophy. Very, very sweet and simple class and a lot of philosophy. You made it very simple, Prabhuji. I really don't understand that easily, the philosophy part. When the philosophy comes, I just, oh my God, I get scared to even listen. At the end of the day, I'll not understand. I feel like that. But today's examples were very simple to understand it, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Very grateful to you, Prabhu, for making it very easy.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
If there are no more realizations, with your permission, can we end the call, Prabhuji?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
We'll offer our respects to all the assembled Vaishnavas and yourself, Prabhu. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Santakoti
Gणपति
Vaishnavrind
वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्रील
Srila
प्रभुपाद की जय,
Prabhupada ki jai. His
जय।
Grace Radhika Vallabh Prabhuji ki
की
jai.
जय। Thank you,
Jai.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Koti koti dandavat
Prabhuji.
pranam. Very, very inspired class, Prabhuji. Always you are teaching us practical lesson. Koti koti dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you all so much, dear devotees. Hope you had a very rasa-filled session. We will meet you again tomorrow.